Hello and welcome to Cardiff News Plus. I'm Ruo Chanwu.
And I'm Stella Zom. Construction work on a new cycle lane in the centre of Cardiff is causing problems for pedestrians, according to people who walk through the area. A zebra crossing has been blocked off. I went out to take a look at the problem. St Andrew's Crescent is a popular student location. Because of its closeness to the university, there's a lot of student accommodation in the area. The construction of a dedicated cycling lane between the city centre and Heath High Level has been approved by the council. The idea is to ensure a safer cycling experience and promote a greener environment. It is costing the council £10 million.
The idea is to make this one way here, so you'll have a circle here, a cycleway inside there, you'll have a cycleway up to Park Grove leading you out, and then you'll have the cycleway going from town straight up here. This is actually only phase one. They're then going to be doing more cycleways depending on how this goes and how many people use it. I think they're expected to have 6,000 people less driving and more people cycling basically.
But some walkways and pedestrian crossings have been closed or diverted to aid construction. Some residents, particularly the students, have expressed concerns for their safety.
Yeah, it's not the best because it's quite a busy road. So having to walk on the road is, quite dangerous with all the cars coming past.
I mean, I don't know how to drive yet, so I don't understand all those rules. But it seems like every car is following orders, and they are driving pretty slow. So I think it's really safe.
Yeah, I feel it's very annoying, and it's causing a lot of distress because for students and people there are no chance to cross the street before, so people just have to cross the street like here instead of in the middle of the traffic and cars, and I think it's very dangerous. And I think that they should have found another solution for this because it's very dangerous for everyone.
Why the traffic lights is at the middle of the road, not the intersection of the road. So I need to walk through the road. It's quite dangerous.
Well, obviously I feel like it must be necessary in order for them to get the work that they need done. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they can give prior notice, like this might be like you'll have to walk on the road, and so you have to navigate how you walk on the roads and obviously being careful of oncoming traffic. So that's obviously a concern.
Although safety measures have been put in place, Jason Green thinks that pedestrians have to be more careful and pay attention to the signs that have been set up.
With regards to safety, everything's signed out according to the highway code. But as you know, you've probably seen yourself, students don't always like to get out of their own way to go around the diversions that are set out, which realistically puts them in danger. If they just took 2 steps to the left, they'd see a walkway and they could walk down the walkway. I don't know how many more signs could be put out to make it any more secure, really.
This construction will provide a dedicated cycling lane which will contribute to a greener and safer environment, according to Cardiff Council. However, residents will have to deal with obstructions to walkways and pedestrian crossing for a couple of weeks. Stella Zom reporting for Cardiff News Plus.
It's World Autism Awareness Week. The Welsh Government and local organizations are making efforts to raise public awareness and understanding of people with autism. In the first of the 2 reports, I will look at the extended initiative. Autistic people from Cardiff joined with their families, supporters, and professionals to discuss and share their hopes at the Senate. This event was organized by Autistic UK and the Autistic Women's Empowerment Project. Around 70 people attended and talked about their life experiences as well as their needs for the future. The founder of Women's Project, Willow Holloway, hoped the event could provide an open platform to discuss their appeals.
Primarily to ensure that the autistic voice is heard, to encourage co-production, to encourage engagement and participation, to ensure that all policy, legislation and service development is done including autistic people, so that all services developed actually meet their needs.
Julia Morgan from Autistic UK said the most important thing is to accept autism as an intrinsic part of who autistic people are and part of their physiology.
I think what we want to achieve eventually is the fact that we're accepted for who and what we are. rather than people trying to change us and to make us fit in. It's for us to be seen as people, not as a burden.
Being accepted is just one part of supporting people with autism. According to the Welsh Government's plan, there are still gaps in meeting additional learning needs, employment support, and healthcare.
What we need is to have our needs recognised and strategies put in place that are going to support us to get the correct education, to get the correct employment, and to ensure that schools and employees make the reasonable adjustments that are needed so that autistic people can fit into the world.
Meanwhile, the Welsh Government are extending its integrated autism service to meet the needs of diagnosis, education, social care, and employment support. Ruoshan Wu from Cardiff News Plus.
In our second report on Autism Awareness Week, Kainan Tao has been to an exhibition organized by Cardiff University and AP Comrie.
Many exhibition stalls were available to obtain more information, and there were seminars in which people could participate. A special guest speaker, Rob Patton, was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. He shared his experience about how he overcame the problems autism caused him. In addition, people from another charity talk about how to help them.
So our basic remit isn't to tell people what is right or what is wrong, what political beliefs they should or shouldn't have. It's about making sure that everybody has the opportunity to have all the facts to hand, to make their own choices so they can build a real life of their own where possible, and where possible make as many decisions about their own life as they can. And that's essentially what we're about.
One of the hosts, Matthew Bedford, who works at Cardiff University, is also a father of a child with autism.
So my son is autism with ADHD and sensory difficulties, so he struggles with loud noises. We have ear defenders, so it's the classic look of an autistic child. Ear defenders is like being in big crowds. It's quite anxious and agitated. So we had one instance, we were out in public, this is why it makes it quite difficult as well. We're out in public and someone said, have you got ants in your pants? Because he couldn't sit still and he whips down his trousers to show that he hasn't got ants in his pants. You see, so it gets really difficult, and it's little things like that. So he doesn't like bright lights, so again you've got to work out when you're going out, it limits you to lots of stuff, so he's finding the support mechanisms that are there to help. And also he's nowhere aware of safety either, so you've got to be completely supervised all the time. So as you can imagine, it just takes on another toll and everything, so yeah.
Throughout Autism Awareness Week, there are many more events in Cardiff and all around the world. Kainan Tao, Cardiff News Plus.
Coffee drinkers in Wales could be facing a 25p tax each time they use a throwaway cup. Environment campaigners want a 25p tax on single-use coffee cups in Wales. Friends of the Earth say it's a way of tackling the waste pollution problem. Our reporter Yun Han Wu went to find out more.
Every year in Wales, 500 million coffee cups are used and thrown away, but just 1 in 400 of them are recycled. However, most people still not realize the harm of disposable coffee cups to the environment.
Yeah, I'd say around 5 people a day bring it in, but it seems to be a growing trend now where we're getting more people bringing in their own cups instead of using our single use.
At the moment, there isn't a plan for dealing with these cups. Some of the cafes are introducing their own schemes, their own sort of, putting a charge on those cups, but there isn't anything that's sort of Wales-wide.
A single-use coffee cup is made of paper and plastic inside. The process to separate them out is very complicated, which makes it difficult to be recycled. So, can 25p make a difference? Would you like to pay for it or bring your own recyclable cup?
No, not really, no. I'd rather carry my own.
Well, the coffee's already expensive anyway, so it's probably, I get a discount now of about 15-20p if I use my own cup.
Yeah, I should, because if this is what I want, I have to pay for it.
God, it's just another charge, isn't it, really? Because where did the 25p go?
Other areas in the UK have raised this idea last year, but it hasn't happened yet. The consumption of plastic bags have reduced by 86% after a charge was introduced. Friends of the Earth say a charge for a single-use cup may be a good alternative for Wales to improve waste pollution problem.
I think there's a huge opportunity here for the money generated by this scheme, and in a way this would need to be decided by the government, but we've got our own ideas as to what this could be used for. We think it would be a really good idea to have zero waste hubs, areas in the community where to help reduce waste, because it's not just about plastic, it's about reducing waste.
It may be time for Welsh people to change their way of drinking coffee. Yun Han Wu from Cardiff News Plus.
An exhibition of photographs which explore the relationship between sound and pictures has opened in Cardiff. One of the photographers taking part talked about his work as a special event organized by Photon, a local photographic organization. Yin Chu Yang went to find out more.
Brian Davis Stevens spends a long time photographing people and places with an artistic eye. His special works are like Doggerland, showing elements perceived through glass, and 2001 Mayday protest in London. But more pictures are about sound systems.
I used to work with sound systems when I was at college, and I've got a love for them. I think a good one that's handmade. You're so used to these being sort of industrially produced, but a lot of sound systems were kind of hand-built by people, and you can tell they're not that sort of perfect shape. They're all different shapes and sizes, and they just look wonderful, and they sound wonderful as well.
Amir Young, who runs Fountain, says this event does not only provide an opportunity for people to come together and talk about photography, but was also connected with the exhibition.
Diffusion is running in Cardiff at the moment, which is a photographic festival. So it seemed appropriate that we would have a social during the month of April, when the festival is running. And Brian has an exhibition on at the festival, so it seemed appropriate to invite him to do a talk for Photon.
Julie Cook is a photographer. She particularly liked the pictures linking images and sound.
The reason why I came this evening was to see that series of work on the speakers, and I really love that. I love all the stuff that's not digital, the analog stuff, and people being a bit more rock and roll, and I think that a lot of that is lost.
I'm now standing in the Capital Shopping Centre. As you can see, this is the exhibition of Notting Hill Sound Systems. All the pictures are taken by Brian Davis Stevens, and the whole exhibition will last until the end of this month. This is Yin Chu Yang from Cardiff News Plus.
An exhibition has opened in Cardiff Bay, which represents the combination of different cultures and changes in Wales in recent years. Our reporter Zichen Wen has been to take a look.
This exhibition aims to promote Wales as a vibrant and modern country with diverse landscapes and communities. It's called Eclectic Scenes of Wales and shows the interaction of different customs, languages, and lifestyles. This painting, Morgan Arcade, represents a combination of Chinese material and Cardiff scenes.
I really like them. I think especially the ones that are the combination of Chinese ink and watercolor. It's a very beautiful combination, and it really brings the city to life, I think.
From the perspective of techniques, the exhibition also shows how these paintings are made with various techniques and painting styles. The painter Chi Li is from Hong Kong but has been living in Cardiff for 15 years. He is a self-taught landscape artist, but he tries to use different skills to express feelings.
This is his favorite painting named Heart of Snowdonia. It's because it was his first attempt to climb a high mountain in Wales, and it was very attractive. He thinks that from that moment, he gradually became a new Welsh instead of a foreigner. He became a part of Cardiff.
These paintings also depict historical buildings and nature that show the changes of Wales. People can visit this exhibition in Pierhead Building until the end of the month. The artist says he will continue to hold more exhibitions to show the beauty of Wales. Zichen Wen from Cardiff News Plus.
Bute Park is celebrating its 70th anniversary with a new memorial sculpture to mark the occasion. Our reporter Chitra Ramadani reports.
I'm standing here in Bute Park as it has commissioned a new sculpture to mark its 70th anniversary since the park is given to the people of Cardiff. Cardiff is a vibrant city that offers not only urban cityscapes but also beautiful parks and gardens, one of which is Bute Park, or known as the Green Heart of Cardiff, that has been around for 70 years since it was gifted to the people in 1947 by the 5th Marquess of Bute. Chris Wood, the sculptor, says that this new addition to the park represents the trees in the Arboretum and the people who grow them and take care of the park.
This sculpture here represents 20 different trees species in the park, and the hands represent the people who grew the trees. It's to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Bute Park and how it's affected the people and everything else, the green space in Cardiff. You know, everybody gets something different from sculpture, whether it's a tactile sense, touching it, or just observing it, or playing around it. You know, birds all sit on it. It's a piece of the park now, so you know, when people see it, I hope they smile and appreciate it and say that's nice. At the end of the day, it's not trying to make any massive statement. It's just nice to look at, you know, and to be around.
Paula Jones have been taking care of the park, cultivating the garden for 12 years, and is appreciative of this new sculpture and its design.
The new one represents obviously the 70th anniversary. So it's a new sculpture. It's placed just in the position there, so everybody will view it because we have playing fields as well as our park areas and our woodland areas, and it is sort of like central to all the pathways so people can view it.
People who walked through the park to enjoy the beautiful scenery came over to see the new sculpture.
I think it's a great addition to the park. It's nice when there's works of art that children can explore, so they're great to look at, but also you can feel them, touch them, the kids can climb on them, and I think that's the best kind of sculpture really, because I think it becomes more interactive, people can enjoy it more.
With this sculpture symbolizing the efforts of the people to cultivate and maintain the park, Cardiff is well aware of the importance in valuing its green lungs that offers a national collection of trees and a wealth of horticulture to enjoy. Chitra Ramadani, Cardiff News Plus.
That's all for now. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Cardiff News Plus.
From all of us at Cardiff News Plus. Goodbye.